Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me. I am still Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com. It is still in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. Please reach out to me directly. I am still Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for pricing details. Today, we're discussing a product of the 1990s, beautifully simple and chaste in size and proportion. This is the Lange Sohne Langematik, part of the Saxonia family. This example in white gold retailed back in 2001. It's almost a vintage watch. So it's a nice 37 millimeter diameter, 8.5 millimeters thick in spite of automatic winding. From lug tip to lug tip, 44 millimeters with a 19 millimeter spacing between the lugs. It really does feel like a bit of a vintage watch in terms of size, which makes it perfect on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. Now you can see even from over the top, and I'm pulling it really tight here, this exaggerates the width of the watch. The lugs are nowhere near the edge of my wrist. Flat, flush, it easily slides under a cuff. And you can consider this viable on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference. So ladies, this is a unisex option, and very much so. Strap a combination of large and medium rectangular scale alligator leather in matte black. There's a little bit of stuffing to give it volume. A monotone stitch to match the black of the strap. We have a folded edge, calfskin on the bottom. No crimping, no gouging. It is a Lange factory strap, and it's paired with a Lange factory pin buckle. Two features I always shout out when I'm doing a longer review, and it's a pin buckle, guys. If you've seen this before, advance past, feel free. But if you're new to my longer reviews, you're going to want to know that the strap sits inside the buckle rather than stacking up underneath, and that's because the bridge is elevated over the panels in profile, so you can see it sits above rather than even with them, so the strap is always flush with your wrist. And there's also a retaining bar, because if you have a tiny wrist, you're going to use the smallest hole, or maybe even punch a smaller one. You know how tight the strap can get, and sometimes it gets pinned on the pin. So this little retaining bar prevents it from sliding all the way to the base of the pin, makes it easier to extricate when the time comes to remove the watch. Lange case designs are all fundamentally similar. We have a round case with a sheer side, a domed bezel, and then lugs that are stepped out from the case band. Not all of them feature a satin finished mid case, and that is what we have here, and I like it for the sake of a little bit of differential shine and finish and breaking up the monotony of one rather mellow and neutral color with this white gold. We have Lange branding on the crown. You can see the bezel is a little bit of a vertical lip and then a domed profile, which brings us to the dial. We have stick indices, the numeral 12, and then the hands, all in white gold, so they won't oxidize or tarnish over time. And then we have a little bit of lume. This watch of the Super Luminova era, so the dial still glows quite well, and actually quite robust lume for a dress watch. We also have a special feature that's been characteristic of the Saxomat caliber since the beginning. You can see it says Saxomat on the side because that is what's inside. Not only do I get a stop seconds function, but when I stop the seconds, it 0 resets, so I can set the watch precisely against a reference time. It is a wonderful feature that makes for quick and precise synchronization. And of course, the dial is made of sterling silver, but it's galvanized black, and we've got this little sunken sub-register with a light concentric pattern internally. Flipping it all over, this is what the Saxomat looks like. It is a 3/4 rotor, which is fundamentally the same as a micro rotor in that you get the same open case back view as on a manual, and you get the same thin profile as on a manual, but you also get the convenience of automatic winding. It's a 46-hour power reserve. It beats away at 3 hertz. It is adjusted in a chronometer style, 5 positions, and it pivots on 36 joules. You've got a rotor that is exquisitely finished with multiple different treatments. You could see anglage, satination, and then chiseling, and you can see it is 21 karat gold, but the mass itself, which features a snailing finish, the mass is made of platinum. It's a double precious metal rotor. Now you can see there's more snailing on the bridge beneath. The bearing at its center is black polished. The ratchet wheel atop the barrel is also black polished mirrored steel. So is the cover to the escape wheel cock and the swan's neck fine adjustment mechanism. The bridges are German silver or a nickel, copper, and zinc alloy, with the copper giving it its golden hue. All this water resistant to 30 meters. Another element characteristic of Lange finish is this freehand engraved balance cock, done with a burin, eye-hand coordination, and no automated tooling. No two of those are exactly alike. You can also see on the edge of all these bridges, we have a mirrored bevel. We have both polished screws, which you can see at several locations on the movement, but we also have fired blue screws. And then if you look carefully at the cover of the escape wheel cock, you can see there's a sharp inward crease where those two bevels meet. That is an inward angle. It's something that is coveted and appreciated by watch collectors as rare, fine, and difficult to execute. We have engine-turned perlage in several different sizes on the plates. And then all of this designed to evoke the pocket watch era of 19th and early 20th century Glashütte East German watchmaking in the state of Saxony. And a lot of the stylistic tropes you see here, such as the three-quarter style bridge, the use of German silver, you can see a golden chaton cup used for one of the pivots of the reduction system underneath the rotor. All this echoes how pocket watches were made by the predecessor, the historical Lange Söhne. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.